Well, the latest news today is that American rapper A$AP Rocky is going to be spending almost another week in a Swedish prison. He's already spent 2 weeks, and that's because prosecutors announced today that they need more time to investigate this alleged assault. They haven't even brought charges yet, and they're worried that A$AP Rocky and some of his friends who were also arrested might be a flight risk. They might try to leave Sweden and head back to the States. Now, here's how this all went down. On June 30th, A$AP Rocky, famous American rapper, got in a fight with a guy on the streets of Stockholm. He was in Stockholm going to a concert. Now, what looked like on social media was A$AP Rocky, maybe A$AP Rocky, throwing this guy across the street onto the curb, and then he and his friends pummel this unknown guy right on the street. Now, he turned himself in on July 3rd, just a couple of days later, along with his friends, and then A$AP Rocky had his own say. He started posting on social media his own recordings of what happened, and that showed something completely different. It looked like this guy was following them. Some women came up and said that this guy had been harassing women in the street and grabbing them, and it looked like A$AP Rocky and his friends were really trying to de-escalate quite a strange situation involving some unknown people in a foreign country. Now, in the last couple of weeks, this has gotten more and more attention from celebrities. We're hearing from Justin Bieber, from T.I., from all sorts of people across, especially rap musicians. Now, none of them, they have a lot of star power, but none of them really pack the same punch as Kim Kardashian and her husband Kanye West. Because remember, those two have a direct line to the White House. So what they did was they went straight to President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and asked him to intervene. This isn't the first time that Kim Kardashian has asked President Trump to help with a criminal case and someone who's been languishing in jail. But this is the first time that they would raise this kind of thing to an international incident. So President Trump went to Mike Pompeo. He's the Secretary of State. And Mike Pompeo said that he was actually going to appoint an envoy to Sweden, to which we don't have an ambassador at the moment, to try to resolve the situation. And just today, President Trump and his wife Melania announced that they're going to try to get A$AP Rocky released. Now, lawyers for A$AP Rocky at this hearing today, they gave a press conference, and they said that the Swedish state was being unfair and unduly harsh on this famous American, and that this was all because that, they thought he was a flight risk, but that A$AP Rocky isn't actually a flight risk. So if you want to know more about what's happening, you're going to have to tune in back again on July 25th. That's when we're going to hear from prosecutors once again on whether or not they can actually bring assault charges on this major American celebrity and whether or not this is going to become a really big deal, an actual diplomatic international incident involving mostly celebrities.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.